Tuesday broadcast, chatting with June Marie Avery. Well, is it Avery? I forgot to ask. You went off and got married here, didn't you, June Marie?
Yes, I did. I did. I married a lovely man named Dean Massey, and for work, I'm still going to be June Marie Avery. You know, when you've been something for 68 years, it's kind of hard to change. But when we're together or whatever, we'll be Mr. and Mrs. Massey.
Well, congratulations to you, and hope
it's been a month today. We survived the first month.
Well, that's usually the tough one there, so good for you. Did you get to go anywhere for a honeymoon, or did you just kind of hang around New Mexico?
Well, we just hung around New Mexico, but we're going on a cruise around Christmas time.
Oh, okay.
We're saving toward that. But, yeah, we're going to do, it's just from Galveston down the Mexican Riviera, but it's the fun of going on a cruise, you know, that is what my favorite part. So we're going to do, this will be Dean's first cruise, so we're pretty excited about that.
Well, they are kind of fun. Of course, it's been a long time since Lon and I went on a cruise, and I don't know if it's changed much since then, but the one thing I do remember, you will not be hungry. If you're hungry there's something wrong with you. Yeah, that's right. So that's,
well, you know, one of the first ones I went on, there was this cute T-shirt, but I didn't see it till the end of the cruise, so they were out of them, except for youth sizes, and I could, you know, maybe cobble together 4 or 5. But anyway, it had this woman laying on a deck chair, and the waiter is bringing her a drink, and it says, "I survived a Caribbean cruise." It looks like it was really tough, you know.
There you go. Well, so you're back and taking care of the Literacy Council, and kind of bring us up to date. What's happening this summer?
Well, we just ended our program year the end of June, and now we're starting the new program year from July to next June. You know, our years run from the middle of the year to the middle of the next year. And we finished our reports, and we had a very productive year last year. We had, interestingly, it's usually like 2/3 English learners and 1/3 GED students. But this year it was more like 65% GED students and 35 English language learners percent.
Interesting.
And so, and we had quite a few successes with the GED, but then there's some of them that come in and take the test, the pre-test, so it tells us where they need to work, and then we never see them again. It's like they did the test, and that's all they need to do.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not going to get you your GED. Sorry. But, yeah, it's doing really well. We had a little bit of a fundraiser in June, and the people of Artesia were very generous, and for the most part, now we'll still need ongoing donations, but we're doing, you know, we've got the big costs at the beginning of the year covered, and we're doing really well with that. Some of our students are taking a break and not coming during the summer, and I have some students that are coming, you know, during the summer. So it's kind of it's not as busy with students as it is during the school year, but I'm busy with paperwork. If anybody wants to come and help me with the paperwork, I will find them a place to sit and some paper and a computer to work on. I really could.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if you do find somebody and they do a couple hours for you and they want to come do a couple hours for Tana here,
she'd like that too.
Yes, absolutely. That would be a big benefit in so many ways. So right. I know in the past your funding, obviously the private donations are important, but you did get some from like the United Way and the Community Chest. Since the Artesia Community Chest closed down a while back, has United Way kind of stepped up? Are you getting any help from the state?
We don't get any help directly from the state, but we do get help from an organization that is contracted with the state to manage and supervise the donations. And we did get our money from them this last year, and they're indicating that we may get a little more this year. I'm not going to say it too loud.
Knock on wood. I'm knocking on the.
Yeah, and we have done really well with the people of Artesia. Have really stepped up when the state kind of dropped out of it and we had to go other ways. The people of Artesia have helped us keep the program going. And one thing I'd like I could use from my people from Artesia is this would be the ideal time if you're thinking about being a tutor to come, and then I can give you the materials to study on your own pace online, and then you can then figure out when you want to work with students, and we can make that possible. We even have some that I have tutored at the library after we close at 4, but of course they close at 6, but that's still 2 hours, you know.
That's right.
Hour and a half anyway, probably, that you could work with somebody. And then of course our board, I'd like eventually to have a larger board. Right now we've just got the 3, but I'd like to have maybe 2 more board members if somebody's interested in that. It's always interesting, and you know, sometimes, you know, it's very seldom is it more than just an hour meeting once a month. So it's not a real hardship, but it is very important for me. You know, it gives me somebody to talk to about whether we should buy this material or that material and things like that. So I could really use both of those categories of volunteers.
Sure.
And you know, those things look good on your resume. Don't forget that. You know.
Oh yeah.
Makes you look more impressive.
Well,
and anyway,
and let me ask you about the tutors, because you have both the GED program and then you have the
English program.
English program. I don't know if it's still called English as a second language or what they're calling it nowadays.
English language learning.
ELL instead of ESL.
Right. It's been ESL for maybe 80 years, and then all of a sudden they said, and the reason for it just kind of blows me away, is because it might not be their second language. It's like, oh, okay.
So
that really makes.
We're doing a lot of this. Let's take a cannon to kill a mosquito. You know, we're trying to fix. I'm sure there are some people that fit that category, but that's not the vast majority of the candidates that you help in the the program. But you know,
it's like, you know, and change it for something that when you say ESL, people know, to ELL, and people go, "What's that?"
Yeah. Well, you know, years ago they changed when I first got into radio. The alerts that we heard letting us know that, you know, this is what you're going to hear if there's an emergency. It was called the Emergency Broadcast System.
Right, I remember that.
The EBS.
I can remember. Yeah, I can even remember on television when at the end of the programming, it would go off and it would have something emblem about the emergency broadcast system.
That's right. But as we advanced and we improved and technology changed, it became the Emergency Alert System, or EAS. But it's been a long enough time now that only old timers like me remember EBS, and everybody nowadays thinks of the EAS. But we used to have to do this every week. We used to if we had to read the message, the attention sound you just heard, had this been an actual emergency, the attention sound you just heard would have been followed by important information for you and the members of your community. This station serves the Artesia area. And now that only happens once a month. That announcement plays. The rest of the time you just hear this blop, 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 blop.
Blop, they're practicing.
Blop, and that's all you hear, and you're just supposed to know that's what it is. So
right. Well, it's expecting more of people, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, but Artesia, you can be proud of the 5 people that completed their GED. You can be proud of just a couple of citizens, not because they didn't do well, but because I only had a couple studying for citizenship this year.
Okay.
And of course, many have improved their English skills to the point I have a group that are transitioning from English as a second language to the GED program now.
Great.
So,
and Jean-Marie, you've mentioned this before. The job opportunities for folks, the income opportunities for folks improve tremendously if you can learn to read and write.
Right.
And you can learn to speak English in a way that you can communicate with the people that you work with and you work for. Right,
exactly. Those skills are marketable for your lifetime. And you will never regret. I don't think anybody's ever regretted doing the work.
Sure.
It's well worth it. And plus, they could take your car, they can even take your house, sadly, but they can't take that knowledge that you packed into your brain.
That's right. Now, as far as being a tutor, does it help to be able to speak Spanish to be a tutor?
No, it's not required.
It's not required.
No,
okay.
It's not required. You do need to speak English.
What you talking about? I ain't no English speaker. Come on, man.
I speak American, yeah. But seriously. And I prefer for the people working with the GED to have their high school diploma or GED. But it's not. My ideal would be each one teach one.
Okay. Gotcha.
And for the tutors, but because I don't expect them to do like I do and tutor all day long.
Right.
But it's definitely a need for the community. It's valuable to the community, and we like to think that we're helping the whole community when we help those that come to us for help.
Absolutely. So if folks want to learn more about either taking the GED courses or the other courses that you have available, citizenship courses, or they want to inquire about being a tutor, or maybe they want to make a contribution of some kind, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, for all of those, you can go on to the website and read about the different courses. You can fill out an application for either a student or a tutor. And then there's a place, on every page, there's a link to a site called Givelify, and you can set up and you can make donations through the Givelify link. And also, you can set up like if you'd rather give a small monthly donation, that would be greatly appreciated, just as much as one lump sum.
Okay.
It's all it would always be helpful to have an ongoing, sources of even just a little bit of income coming in like that can really make a difference. And of course, you can reach us by phone, which is 575-748-9740. And remember, if you let it ring 4 times, it will forward to my cell phone, and so I will pick it up. Hope you don't call it like 3 o'clock in the morning, but
now, do you still have a program with the Amazon if people buy things through Amazon?
Yes, it's called Amazon Smile, and you go to the charities list and you look for our name, or you type in Artesia Literacy Council, and you can set it up to when you buy something at no cost to you. Amazon gives us, I don't remember, it's kind of a weird amount. It's like a half of a cent per $100 you spend or something like that. No, but it helps. It helps.
Sure.
Even if it's just for me to turn around and use that for supplies at Amazon, it's a great help.
Yeah. So that's
yes,
another way to help
think
too.
About us. Yeah. Think about us and the need. We're sadly seeing this year. We saw a lot of young people that when they went back to the regular classes at the high school, were told they were going to have to repeat a year. and they wanted to be finished with their education when they expected to be finished with it. So we got students over here finishing their, taking the GED instead of finishing at the high school.
Yeah,
and not there were not many from Artesia High, but there's been some of the other institutions they had a lot of students in that fix. But we appreciate Artesia. We are proud to be a part of it. We will be ordering T-shirts this year to celebrate both our students, and if anybody else wants one, when we get that order prepared, I will give people the chance to buy one of our T-shirts. We're thinking they may be purple this year, although it's also my 50th class reunion in September. Maybe I should go with orange.
Yeah, well, it's always a thought. So, all right. June Marie, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and keep up the good work, and let us know if there's anything else we can do to help you guys out.
Well, you do a lot, and I appreciate KSVP. I appreciate you, Artesia, too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That's going to wrap up the show.